So, Caitlin, I am incredibly excited to talk to you. You often use you as an example of someone who's totally kicking ass in the program. And I want to start, if you could share with us a little bit of your background and where you and I connected, because we've only been working together for about 6 months. And what was your life situation like when you and I started working back at the end of December?
Yeah, so I'm an owner of Myo Blueprint Therapy. So I do deep tissue massage and change people's lives, get them back in their body in a way that makes them feel like they can take on a new challenge. I had just started my business probably a few months prior, and I think I was kind of shifting into the role of like owner-operator from employee. And man, I was like a really good employee. I was so good at it. I could just take direction, and I was really good at working for someone, but I had no idea how to work for myself. And I was totally overwhelmed. I was totally stressed out. I was like, how do I just run away to a different country and not do this anymore? And I was like, my goals, my boundaries, all that stuff was really, really misaligned with my true self. Yeah. And I think I was reaching for what I thought a business looked like. And I didn't know how to structure it and make it work for me rather than just another never-ending process. I could not take it anymore. The suffering was all the time, 24/7. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to, enjoy life again? How am I going to find a space where, it's the balance, but, on the inside as well as the outside? And I was completely just no concept of what I was worth as far as what I'm going to charge and what my goals were. I didn't really have any kind of orientation in regards to that. So
yeah. So when you and I first started working together, there's a few things I think that changed drastically for you, and I'd love if you could share a little bit about one of your first breakthroughs, which was, I think, starting to understand your worth and starting to put boundaries. If you can share a little bit of what that process was like, because it was also difficult when I first started asking you to do certain things. You were like really scared, and you started doing them. And what was your breakthrough regarding that?
Okay, so I actually, I had a big breakthrough around boundaries, and I think just being able to say no thank you to people who aren't a great fit. It's not that they're bad people, it's just that they're not a good fit. And also, restructuring a business, I was like, I'm going to lose some clients because there are some people who like that, that I've been this way, super permeable as far as boundaries, and they like that energetic exchange, and they like, all the perks that come along with it. But also, I think just not just letting go of people, but doing it gracefully and understanding that there's somebody coming to step into that space who's going to bring just as much value, just as much gratitude, and just as much appreciation as a client and as a person. And I started realizing I was letting go of people who weren't open to this new business creation, and people started showing up, and it was just, that was it. I mean, it was tough at first, though. I mean, you were asking me to do things, and I was like, oh my God, what's about to happen? No one's gonna work with me. I was scared shitless. I was scared as fuck.
Scared as fuck, yes, I know.
I was like, what the heck? But also, I had nothing to lose. I was already, really, I was as far down as you can get. I was like, okay, let's try something different, because everything I've been doing is not working. And so the moment that I started doing that, I was like, okay, this is scary, but it's worthwhile. Talk about calling power home. You know, let's just speak on that. Like, I was giving it away. As far as like, it was just so confusing for me. With massage, it's energy. It's we're giving you physical relief, but there's this psychological and emotional, and for some people it's very spiritual. There's this component surrounding it that as the provider, I have to hold space so that they can get the best treatment possible. And I think for a long time I was literally going in there and like throwing my heart, into every session, which is great, but boundaries have to be put in place so that I don't go home feeling like confused. And that was a big thing. I was like taking on so much energy. I was taking on personal problems. I was, not just the therapist, but also like, people were leaning on me in a way that I don't think was healthy for me. And it wasn't personal. It's not that I didn't want to be there for them. I was not doing myself a service.
So let me ask another question. Another major breakthrough that you have, once we started going through that, was back in February at the Austin workshop, where all these amazing women from Mexico and the US get together and share this incredible experience that's very hard to describe with words. I tell my clients it's usually like 10 years of therapy in 3 days. And you were not having the best time when we started the workshop, and you had some major breakthroughs while we were there. If you could share that experience, I think that would be pretty helpful.
I thought I was handling things, and I think that's a big misconception, is that we like handle it and compartmentalize it. And I showed up to this workshop, and I was like, man, we're gonna like we're gonna make so much money, we're gonna do business strategies, and I'm gonna get the secret of life, and little bit of that. And we, that it was a theme, but I just noticed, like, I was like, why is everyone crying? I was like, oh, like, there's just a lot of crying going on. I don't know if I like that. So immediately after, like, the first couple hours, I mean, I love the dream weaving aspect of building a business. The emotional aspect is something that I struggled with, and so I was not prepared for that fallout.
How do you feel that opening your heart in the way that you did started affecting your business? Because I think you came out of that and things started shifting even faster after you came out of the workshop, in terms of the way you held yourself and the way your business started skyrocketing from there.
Yeah, that was it. That was like it. I mean, I got that off my chest, and I wasn't alone with that. And so many people, I just remember, like, so many women there were like, you have inspired me. You really, I can connect with what you're saying. And they thanked me. And I just remember leaving there, and I was like, I can do anything. Like, that was probably the hardest thing I've done in years, and I can do anything. And something about my confidence, whereas before I was like dreading our weekly calls, I was like, oh, she's gonna make me do something hard. And then, like, after that, I was like, what are we doing this?
Nice. Probably haven't talked about this in any of these case studies. Is I am pretty selective with the people that I choose to bring to my program. I say no to a lot of people. And what was your experience like to be in a room with all those amazing women who were supporting each other? What was it like for you?
Oh my gosh, I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, these are really high value, like super successful. Like, being around that, I was like, oh, like I could do something like what she's doing, or look what she's built and where she came from. And there was just something really, really igniting about it for me. I was like, I might be playing very small. And there's and just hearing the stories and the accomplishments and doing, just hearing people's goals, I was like, wow, like this is cool. There's no reason why I can't. There's no reason why I cannot get on that level.
Yeah.
And I think once you kind of put those things together and unlock it, it's like, oh yeah, you start to bloom, you start to blossom, and things start to happen for you. And it's not coincidence. It's your energy changes. That whole saying of like making money is easy,
and fun.
I used to get and fun. And I used to get pissed off when people would say that. I was like, oh, it's kind of hard though. And that's something like I live. I'm just like, oh, there's always gonna be, we can do this. Like, there's always a way, and it's fun. And when you're doing what you love, like, it's great.
The last breakthrough, I wanted to share a little bit about this, because there's a lot of business strategy involving our work together. And I mean, I remember when you came the first time and I told you, okay, these are the goals that we should shoot for. And when you talked to your accountant, he was like, oh my God, you have to be realistic. Like, he didn't even believe you could get to that number. And we've surpassed that already, which is fucking awesome. I think when we're talking about the other day, you've gone at least last month 600% increase in your income since we started working together. And the goal for this month, I think, is going to end up being around 750% increase from the place that you started. So if you could share a little bit of what it's meant for you to make these strategic changes in your business and what it feels like to create so much money right now.
It was scary at first. It was so scary, but you know what? I think it was last month, or I don't know. And you were like, how does it feel to like reach this goal? And I set this goal. It was like, I'm just going to throw a ridiculous number out there and let's just see what happens. And I mean, there was strategy involved to get there. We broke it down. We worked backwards from it. It wasn't an accident.
Of course.
But I did pick a number that I was like, if I could make this much, then that would be like a huge like bid to my, ability and what I'm here to do. And that was like, I've never made that much money before. It's really cool. It's like crazy. And like, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like we're just going to keep setting those goals it's not all about money anymore. I think I started it and I was like, I want to make a lot of money. But,
and by the way, for you, it's not just money; it's also recurring revenue, because the strategy that we have in place is something that you get every month, and it keeps growing. By the way, it hasn't stopped growing.
It does not stop. It's like a garden, and you're growing, and it takes a little bit to get it going, and then you pull out a few weeds in here and there, and maybe this plant works better over here, but it is definitely a garden, and once it starts going, it kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So the within 2-3 months, I think I had tripled my monthly income. And then and this is within 6 months of working together. And then May, I hit my dream goal, which I was like, whoa. Like,
well, you surpassed it, actually.
Yeah, I went over it. Like, yeah. It didn't even, like, it was really, really special and really important for me to meet that goal. And and we just keep setting goals and keep doing it. And I don't work a lot. I think that's the thing. Like, people think like, oh, you have to work really hard to make a shit ton of money, and it's like to make a lot of money. And I journaled this morning, and I had written down at the workshop what my perfect Monday looked like, and it was like, take it easy, wake up late, have a cup of coffee. Like, I was like, I don't know if Mondays, like, I want that to be like my chill meditation strategy days. And this is the first morning where I was like, this is my perfect Monday. Like, I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
Is what I visualized for myself, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good. I'm so grateful. I can't believe it.
So I'd love to ask you, because there's women who are watching this, and every time that I do a case study, I like to ask this question, because it's hard for me to just say, oh, what this work is like or how you're going to feel about it. But people are oftentimes scared to invest in themselves, and they look at the number when I present it like this is the investment, and they shit their pants sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'd love if you could share your experience about what it's like for you to invest in yourself and what you've gotten as a result of that, and what it's like to work with me.
Yeah. It's amazing. Do it. Invest in yourself. That is the one thing that I have learned from this. There is no bigger investment than what you do for yourself. You might have so much stuff going on and people to care for, and I understand that there's stuff outside of yourself, but if you don't take care of what your temple and your energy and your business, and you have to do that through growth, and you can't just stay the same. So do it. I really, it's been one of the best experiences of my life. I am not the same person I was 6 months ago. I'm not the same person at all. So, working with Chris, you're super tough. I like that, okay? I like that. It's like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. And then, if you don't want to do it, you're going to stay in pain. So it's your choice. And you always give a choice, I think. And, but the way you frame it is just really, really compassionate, but also firm. And, I think I was, I get to work with you and see that, and just with the groups, I see how you work with women, and it's wonderful. It's really, really special, and I don't know, I'm lucky to have you in my life. I'm really good.
I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I use you often as an example of how people can kick ass if they get their shit together in such a short time frame, and beyond the money that you're making right now, which is fucking amazing right now. I mean, you're super young, you own your business, you're working less hours than you've ever worked, you're making more money than you've ever made, you're fulfilled, you're happy, and you're adding massive value.
If I can do it, if my goofy, if my floaty, airy, lovey-dovey, if I can do it, if you're watching this video, you can do it. Trust me, because just do it. It's possible. It's absolutely possible.